Today we are going over our last huge score of video games.
Access granted.
If you've been paying attention, we have a grand total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This makes 9. This is 9 videos that I recorded in one day.
Amazing! Amazing!
Just trying to do lots of 10 to 11 at most. Well, we're at the point of where 14 games. This is gonna be the biggest lot that we've gone through. Oh no, actually, the retro ones, the Nintendo, the Super Nintendo, the Nintendo 64, that was all one lot. That was probably our biggest lot of games. But I really want to clean it up, get it wrapped up so I can move on to recording some toy videos. So that said, let's get into today's video pickups, and you tell me down below which ones you think are the best, which ones are the worst. We'll go forward from there with maybe even some suggestions. Which one should I play first over another one? Starting with the Dreamcast, we've got TNN Hardcore Heat. So this is TNN Motorsports. If you guys remember, I think there was a TV channel on cable that was TNN. I watched somebody recently, listen to this. I saw somebody recently trying to open these up, and they kept like trying to open it like this, right? First off,
Slapped him!
you young poor soul. If you want to open up a CD case, a jewel case, they all open the same way. You can't just grab from the middle and start prying like this. Here, look, watch. You just can't do this. It doesn't work that way. You got to grab from the outside and pinch up from the outside. If you start grabbing from the inside, you bulb, this thing grabs, it locks. It's not going to happen. You young, poor, unfortunate soul. You have to pinch from the outside. You can open up jewel cases very quick, very easy with one hand, just by doing like that. Like, come on now. I know I'm old, but who knew that that was going to be a life lesson that I was going to have to teach? So, TNN Motorsports Hardcore Heat. This is sprint cars and things like that. Mud sliding, air catching, stomach turning, off-road racing. Here's the back of the disc. Back of the case. They had other Dreamcast games there. I ended up leaving quite a few behind because most of them weren't the greatest of condition. Even though I didn't have them, my Dreamcast collection is very small. It's very sad. It's very heartbreaking. Finding Dreamcast games in the wild is darn near impossible. And I don't like buying Dreamcast games typically from game stores because y'all suck. You want way too much money for your Dreamcast games. There's nothing special about Dreamcast games. Yes, some of them, I get it. They're valuable. But, like, I don't get it. So, that said, we're going to move on to another console because there's a lot of jumping around. We're going to keep the Xbox 360 for dead last. PlayStation 3, I picked this up from a friend of mine. This is the 3D. Reason I got it, Mortal Kombat, the complete edition. And you can see right here, includes best fighting game. Includes new additional characters. I don't know why I thought that said that. Anyways, you have Freddy Krueger. You have, I don't know what her name is. And over here was this Ninja Gaiden. Let's flip over to the back. I really don't remember who they are now. You get Freddy Krueger, Scarlet, Rain, and Kenshi. You also get to play as Kratos. Kratos right there from God of War. I don't know. I thought I knew those characters. Maybe I don't. Has a ton of little extras on the inside here. But either way, I am excited to play it. I will tell you, I don't know how you guys feel. I am not, I like Mortal Kombat, but I like Mortal Kombat 1. Mortal Kombat 2 was, to me, the best of the Mortal Kombat games. Mortal Kombat 3 was great. Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3 was good. But Mortal Kombat 2 just hits on a level that no other Mortal Kombat's been able to hit. Number 1 was awesome, absolutely amazing. But number 2, no, you can't touch it, sorry. I like the song, can't touch this. Moving on to the next one, we go into GameCube with Marvel Nemesis. This is Rise of the Imperfectionists. very cool looking game. I am very disappointed. I saw that the disc has some spots have pulled away, so I'm not super stoked about that. Should have caught it when I was there. Usually I'm looking for scratches and gouges, and I just didn't pay attention to holding it up to the light. So will it play? Probably not. If it does, great. I will end up looking for another disc. Worst case scenario, I have it CIB that I can pass on to somebody if they're just looking for like a shelf piece if it doesn't work, or if I find the disc loose somewhere. Be another one good for that. Moving on from there, we're gonna go to a little digression, a little bit of a dirty world called the Goodwill outlets, the Goodwill bins, otherwise it's referred to as. Who knew there was so much money lying around in some bins in there that people just dodge and aren't interested in? Everybody goes to the Goodwill bins, and it is gnarly as gnarly gets usually in there, at least at ours. The ones I see people go to on YouTube and things like that, I don't know how you guys got so lucky to get nice and clean and pretty looking Goodwill bins. My Goodwill bins is not clean, it's not pretty, it is not in a good area. There's the cons column, makes you wonder why I even went there. But there's a lot of value in some of the stuff that's there. And while everybody's fighting over the clothes, I went to a whole other section for hardwares and goods and things like that. Anyways, while I was back there, I was flipping through and I come across Wii Sports. Now, on one hand, did I really get Wii Sports? I did not. It was empty. But I have loose discs, probably 2 or 3 of them because I've gotten them in collections. Now I got a little slip cover for one, so work to my benefit. Doesn't really add any extra value, and that's okay. The other thing I picked up, which I'm not sure why, but it's like somebody was pulling apart video games and throwing everything in the bin loose. So I found the manual for a game called Pure. I found the disc for the game called Pure. And had I found the artwork, I would have just been able to have Pure in my collection. This is not going to stay in my collection. This is going to get sold off with a Xbox 360 that I have as a game that I'm just going to say, hey, complimentary of the house. Another thing I picked up, which I already put it into a better case because the other case was gross, Iron Man 2 for the Wii by Sega. Hopefully it's a good looking game to play. Well, it's going to be one of those consoles that I'm going to continue to ignore and overlook until almost too late because the Wii is a game system that I just don't care about. But there are some good games on there. Problem with the Wii is that it is loaded with shovelware on a level that's repulsive. Anyways, moving on from there, we have Xbox 360, starting with Assassin's Creed 3. Now, I already had Assassin's Creed 3, but you know what I didn't have? Assassin's Creed 3 with the Steelbook still factory sealed. I think this is absolutely amazing. I was going to open it up, put the stuff in here, into here, and flip the other one off. But then I thought to myself, why? Why not just leave it sealed? Keep it together. And then I thought, you know what? You make a lot of sense, Self. We're going to keep it just like that. So I'm going to flip the other Assassin's Creed 3 off. It ain't worth much, couple bucks. Probably only bought it at Goodwill for $2 or $3 in the first place. Anyways, moving on from there, we have Battle Stations Pacific, right? Isn't that what I said? Yes, Battle Stations Pacific. Love, love, love airplane games, dogfights, things like that. One war, 2 epic sagas. You can command both sides, change the outcome of the war if you want. Air, sea, sub, combat, 100 war machines, stunning new looks. Anyways, by Eidos, Xbox 360. Next one that I picked up, I was such an idiot. This is Hawk, Tom Clancy game. If you guys remember in a previous video, I was talking about Warhawk and about how much fun that game was on the PlayStation 1, and I'm hoping that the one on the PlayStation 3, despite not being 3D, I picked it up anyways because I love Warhawk. I bought this one recently thinking that this was part of it, and then like an idiot, all of a sudden one day it was like an epiphany. I was like, oh, yeah, it's fighting, and it does say Hawk, but it's not Warhawk. It's just Hawk. It's by Tom Clancy. Probably an okay game at best. Moving on from there, speaking of games that are probably more than okay in my personal opinion, we have Sniper and Sniper 2, the double pack. 2 games for the price of 1. I don't know if you need a light gun to be able to utilize this game, or if you can just use your, whatchamacallit, your controller. But I'm excited to have this one, the double pack, because more unique. So we'll see. Moving on from there, another one that I see a lot of people talk about lately called Spec Ops The Line. This is the premium edition, and what kills me includes the FUBAR pack. Anyways, you basically go into hot zones and you rescue people. Probably a fun game. Moving on from there, we have a Factory Sealed. This game looked really good. I picked it up, only paid $5, $6, $7, $8, something like that for it. It's called Carrier Command Gaia Mission, something like that. Anyways, it says join the action as you seize command of a futuristic military carrier and plan your assault on the enemy. Looks like a really good game. Guess we'll find out. I have so many games to play, as I've told you guys before, that I'm not going to open up Factory Sealed games until I know that the market is never going to go up on that one, or if it has gone up, I'll just buy an open copy. And moving on from there, we have Ace Combat Assault Horizon. I love the Ace Combat games. Again, dogfighting in the air, airplanes. I thought a long time ago I would join the Air Force if I ever got into any of the branches of the Army, military, I mean, or whatever it is. The different branches, Navy, military, Air Force, Army, you name it. I figured if I ever did get into one, Air Force would be it because I'd want to fly, but I never obviously went that route. Obviously God wanted me to go this route. I'm talking to you guys here about video games in my game room, all the way from sunny Florida. Anyways, here's some gameplay of it right here. I love it. Look at that. Look at that. That airplane right there just flying away as the other one's just like exploding. Super cool. Hopefully it's a good game. We'll see. Moving down to our last 2 games. First one we have is Metal Gear Rising. Good old Konami. Hopefully it's a good game. Why am I yawning while I'm talking? It's so rude. Hopefully it's a good game. I guess we'll find out. But our last game for this video, I lost track. What is this, 14? Armored Core 4. Good old Sega. Mech games. Love mech games. Another kind of fun game that I really do enjoy. You can see here some of the gameplay in the back. One game I would love to get for the collection that I intend to try to get maybe this year. There are 2 bigger, heavier hitters that I'd like to pick up this year for my collection. I usually have a goal of 1 or 2, depending on how the year goes, for the collection that are heavy hitters. This year's heavy hitters are going to be Little Samson and Steel Battalion. Steel Battalion, though, the reasons I'm bringing that one up, everybody already knows about Little Samson. If you're watching this, you probably know Little Samson. You've either heard me talk about Little Samson. Go ahead and Google Little Samson for the NES and just see what it goes for. I'm only looking for the loose cart. Given the amount of money that they typically go for, I am looking for a clean label. I don't want any, you know, because the variance is so very little. I've seen people sell loose copies of Little Samson for $1,600, $1,700, $1,800 with ripped labels, and it's like for $2 grand, or maybe just over $2, $2,100, $1,900, somewhere around there. I see good labels. Why would you spend that much money and get a garbage label? I don't get that. What's a few $100 extra? But anyway, especially when you're spending that much money. But Steel Battalion isn't anywhere near that much, but I'm wanting to get one that is the green buttons, the original, and in the box with a nice clean minty box. I've seen them sell game controller. The controller, huge, right? You can't see my other arm, but I mean, it's probably 3-4 feet wide. Double sticks, command center with just buttons for days. Very hard game from what I understand. But anyways, typically about $300 on the loose, with a box usually about $400 to $500, and a clean box about $500 to $600. We'll see. But Little Samson's more of the hotter ticket of the 2, but we'll see what happens. Really Rad Weekend's going to be up in November in Destin, assuming it still comes up like it's supposed to. My goal is to go meet some of the guys that I love watching on YouTube. I know Retro Rick, I'm sure he'll be there. Pixel Game Squad, Caleb from Phoenix Resale will be there, and so on and so forth, as well as some others, notables, like John Riggs, I'm sure will be there. Mort may even be there. Metal Jesus may be there. There's a lot of different people I like to watch. RNG Gamer, Retro Wolf 88, you guys may be there, I don't know. But long story short, we'll see. My biggest goal, though, is to get Little Samson this year. But Steel Battalion would be a fun getter for sure. Anyways, that completes the video. Hope you guys had a good day. Good night. I'll see you guys next time right here on Jeremy Rewind.